Folks, welcome back to the No Laying Up live show / podcast Friday, round 2 U.S. Open edition. Solly here. TC is joining us. Hello, TC.
I'm back, folks. I'm back. Good to be here, Solly.
Cody is here as well. He is calling in from the airport. We may have to hit the mute button a few times. We are in the lounge enjoying some old fashions. Cody, he is out at Torrey Pines today. He's going to share some on-the-ground insights. Cody, how are you?
Cheers, very good. Welcome. I am in the airport, being taken care of here at the Amex Lounge, but it's okay. We got old fashions. I'm ready to talk some golf, get these takes out there, so I'm excited, boys.
All right, before we do that, I want to give a shout out. I always have a hard time finding good sunglasses. I believe, TC, you can echo some of this. I think we have opposite problems, but I got a very big dome. Nothing seems to fit right. But our friends, I got to try on like 50 pair of these, even the gas station ones or anywhere I've gone. I got to do all these different kinds to find something that just doesn't look horrible. So when Rain reached out to us and said, we want to send you some sunglasses, I was like, all right, send me I chose the Wileys. I was like, send them to me. They're probably not going to fit me, but like, I appreciate the effort. Send them to me. Let me just go ahead and try these on for you guys. I mean, they fit my head perfectly. My wife loves them. I love them. They're classic handmade sunglasses, the best handmade sunglasses that money can buy. They were founded back in 2009 by 3 California guys. They were frustrated by the lack of quality eyewear and accessible price. They focus on premium materials to create super lightweight, carefully crafted sunglasses. The lenses are manufactured by world-renowned Carl Zeiss Vision, and the frames are made with the highest quality materials, so they maintain the shiny new sunglass look for years. They got 100% UVA and UVB protection, tons of polarized options. Rihanna, James Harden, Shea Mitchell, John Hamm are all wearing these things, so it's not surprising. GQ named them 2021's best sunglasses of the year for men. Free shipping, free returns, a 1-year warranty. You have truly nothing to lose. The best sunglasses I've ever owned by far. So look no further. You got the perfect sunglasses brand. Rain exclusive offer for just No Laying Up listeners. Head to raen.com. Use promo code NLU for 25% off your first order. That's Rain, raen.com. Use promo code NLU for 25% off your first order. I'm not going to wear them for the whole show.
I've got a skinny head. They fit my head too. The Wiley, I think. So this is handmade, high quality stuff we're talking about.
All right, today's show, I'm going to promise, and maybe this might be to the disappointment of some of our listeners and viewers, but I think we're going to be a little more positive today. Although I don't think anything was very different, it was probably even more boring of a day. There was even less buzz, I think, than yesterday. But yesterday we got hit with the shock that they were going to hit us with a ton of commercials, and today I felt very prepared for it. So, TC, I feel like you were not on the show last night. I feel like you probably got some things to say. I want to just toss it up to you first. What's the biggest story so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys had to bring me in for some positivity. I'm known for my positivity, and that's why I'm here.
Oh, no. How far have we fallen?
Torrey is what we thought it was. Definitely. I think some of it, Cody, you can probably speak to this a little bit. It seems like some of the energy is just being sapped out by the marine layer a little bit. It just seems kind of grayish and the course isn't playing too spicy. There's not a whole lot of great light out there. I do love the paragliders. They're out there in full force. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just feels like kind of a slog, right? And there's not a whole lot of juice to it. Decent leaderboard. Kind of a good mix of solid if unspectacular veterans. And then very unspectacular Richard Bland, and and then some heavyweights kind of lurking, waiting in the wings. So I think we're in for a good Saturday, though. I do have high hopes for tomorrow. I think this thing's going to materialize into a pretty exciting Saturday.
I apologize for the StreamYard logo that was covering up half my face. I can confirm we've paid for the premium package. Shout out to Rain and our other partners that have helped us pay for that. So I'm manning the ones and twos tonight. DJ usually does this, and I'm not an expert at this, so bear with me on any live show things. All right, Cody, you were on site all day today, looking a little more red even than you were last night. I don't know if you wore any sunscreen today. Also an issue. What are you burning on? What are your big takeaways from today?
Well, I started the day out very excited because there was no delay, no marine layer. Got out there ready to go, and unfortunately, it was just a kind of a dreary, overcast day all day. So the wave that we watched and we're so excited for yesterday, they finished up this morning, got started on round 2. and they just kind of didn't really take it deep. I was, looking for big things from guys at the top of the board, and it's crazy that yesterday I was praising Louis for his play, and he's in the exact same position today after shooting an even round par. So that's kind of where we're at. Not a lot of movement. We're saving that, I guess, for tomorrow. Biggest disappointment today, probably the Molinari brothers. I understand they make the cut. Very good for them. Matching 76s. Not really what I was looking for out of Franco, but I don't know. A lot of room, a lot of positivity out there today, and happy to be there.
I don't know if you heard this. He's one of the pre-tournament favorites. I heard that on the telecast coming into today. So yeah, I saw
160 to 1.
Yeah, I saw somebody send in a ticket at 340 to 1 that they got him. So a lot of people were talking about him coming into this. We're not going to do coverage takes. Come on, guys, we're better than that. Come on. All right, well, I want to talk about Louis a little bit, but we have to start with Richard Bland. Correct? I mean, first of all, the guy doesn't have a hat sponsor. One, I think we honestly should put an inquiry in to see if we can get on that hat for the rest of the weekend. Two,
does he have an agent, or is it just him? Is it his wife?
I don't know. The agent's not working very hard if he's in the lead in the U.S. Open and he doesn't have a hat deal. But he's not going to win the U.S. Open. We know that. However, gosh, thank God we have like this storyline, right? I'm not going to say Russell Henley is not a great story, but it's not a great story. So I did just say that. This is an incredible story.
He's an awesome story.
I like Henley. He's
I do too.
He's not an exciting story, but he's
not an awesome story. Dude. Richard Bland leading the U.S. Open after 2 days is an awesome story. The dude is 48 years old, wins for the first time a month ago after 477 career starts. Has just, by all means, by all accounts, is a delightful bloke from everyone we've heard from in the European Tour. And is going to, he's got to sit with it. I love the dudes that finish midday of round 2 of a major and got to sit with it for like 27 hours for an afternoon tee time at the U.S. Open. Friendly-ish pairing with Russell Henley tomorrow, but that's a developing situation we've got going here.
What would you do if you finished it at say 1 p.m., 2 p.m. local time? What would you do the rest of the day? And then, basically you have 24 hours until your next tee time. Are you going and getting shit-faced just to like be hungover so you can't even give yourself a chance to worry about it? Are you going to the San Diego Zoo?
Parasailing out there on the coast. Why wouldn't you?
Paragliding,
yeah. That's probably
those guys are reckless. I do some reckless stuff in my life, but those guys are out of control.
How close are they to the cliff?
They're very close.
Are they like coming above the golf course at all? Or are they clearly,
no. I think that's the no. I think there's like police below them with paintballs or something like that. Gonna snipe them out of there if they go over the golf course. But 4 of them today, all day, just buzzing that tower. It was impressive to see.
I thought Phil was got to move him out of the way on 4. I mean, after what he did with the drones at Kiowa, I thought they were definitely in his eye line. But
I know, like we're good friends with Max and we follow him and know him personally. I can only imagine what it was like the last 2 days for Max playing with Phil the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Open in Phil's hometown, because the size of the crowds following him, it's absolutely insane. And kudos for Max. Probably not the best putting, demonstration that he put on, but kudos for him for holding on and grinding it out, because it was definitely the Phil show, even though he was also playing with another San Diego native. It completely was overshadowed by the crowd.
Xander might be my guy for as we go into the weekend, for somebody who's hitting the shit out of the ball and really hasn't made much to this point and is right there. But on the Bland
bad
front,
rub of the greens today too.
He did. On the Bland front, question: does he finish in the top 10 after Sunday? Place your bets.
No,
I'm gonna say he finishes T10. T10.
He's not gonna. I don't think he's finishing top 10 either. But no matter what, we get to see him in the cauldron. I'm just hoping we don't get a drop from coverage by the 5th hole tomorrow. That nobody wins in that scenario. I want to see him last for at least a little bit longer tomorrow. But
I mean, it feels like it's a slow bleed here, right? It's not like he's going to make a bunch of quads or something like that. It's going to be bogey, 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 and he's still going to be kind of in the mix. Let's say he shoots 3 over on the front. He's still 2 under for the tournament and still firmly in it. So I think he's at least sticking around through the back 9 tomorrow.
It's wild to see Richard Bland like go through the course extremely unfazed, and Koepka just like stumble all over himself today after we were just hyping him so much on how smart of golf he plays and how in control he is. It's literally as soon as I tweeted that today, he made like 6 bogeys in the next 9 holes. He's one of my bigger disappointments for the day. I know he's at even. He's far from out of it, but I don't know. We're going on a couple years now of these like Brooks, like, oh, he's up on the leaderboard again. Who didn't see this coming? And then just kind of has a 9-hole period that he just kind of blacks out and does not make things happen. And gosh, I'm just kind of very stuck between like, all right, you do this ridiculous thing where you get in contention at every one of these majors now, but kind of once you're there, kind of leaving a little bit to be desired, if I may say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you there. I think it's some of that's just got to do with consistency and reps and practice, though, right?
I would think so. Yeah, but I would more think that consistency and reps and practice would mean like, yeah, you're probably not even getting into contention if that's the case, right? Like that's the kind of even more ridiculous part of it is that he, all these dudes that are playing themselves out of it very, very quickly, and he is not doing that. But
it's like I feel like it's through sheer force of will and just brute force, and then he's pretty much like he's worn out by the time he gets into contention. That makes sense. And then that's when he stumbles. So
that's a good point. All right. Tell me about Louis. Did you get to see much of Louis, Cody?
Yeah, I watched him almost all day. Loved it.
What'd you see?
It's amazing. I mean, everybody talks about how, buttery smooth his swing is, but the guy just hits the ball so good. Obviously left a lot out there today. Majority of it, I would say putting, but really kind of scrambled his way to put together that even par round. But man, he's so positive. Like he's the guy I think that, there's guys that everybody wants to be paired with. Louis is definitely one of them because he's the one cracking jokes and everything and interacting with the fans and galleries around him. It's just awesome to be able to fall. If you're going to a tournament ever, I would say find Louis because number one, you're going to learn a ton about your golf swing. You're going to learn how these guys actually interact with galleries the right way, how they can be a give and take and not just be completely in the zone all the time. And number 3, I mean, he just is an awesome dude. So I loved it. It was awesome.
Well,
you want to talk about somebody that doesn't get reps either. I mean, he doesn't really get reps. He doesn't practice.
It looked like every time they cut to him today, he was just hitting like an extremely apathetic shot, right? I mean, I couldn't believe he shot even today from the tidbits we get in and out of whatever that's not in playing through. I don't watch the screen when they're on playing through, by the way. So whatever they actually show with the full screen, I actually got to see. But he's 4.5 strokes game putting to this point. I mean, and that's what's underrated about Louis. I think he's number 1 in strokes game putting on tour. Like everyone loves the sweet swing and pictures him as this incredible ball striker, but that's not necessarily the case. I think if he could strike it, he would win all of these things. But
that was the crazy thing. I think at Kiowa, I think they said he's number 1 putter on the PGA Tour, and I was like, "Holy shit, are you serious? Wait, that golf swing is the number 1 player the number 1 putter on the PGA Tour? That's insane!" Like, and there's that old, like that old story about his agent basically saying, "Hey, if I could get this guy to care like 10%, he'd have won 10 majors by now." Like he's the most talented player in the world.
Ben Ruttenberg's here in the comments saying Brooks being criticized for only top 5ing in majors the past 2 years. Meanwhile, the JTs and Rorys of the world get off easy. First of all, we haven't let anybody off easy for not doing well in majors.
Randy killed Rory.
We talk about JT's disappointing run in majors every single chance we get. And Rory is like what we lead the show with when he opens up T48 with every major. So you can get all that out of my face. So can we talk about Wolff? Yesterday was schizophrenic as hell. 8 birdies and shot 1 under par. Today was actually a very in control round. 1 bogey, shoots 3 under today. Sorry, is he at 4 under? Correct overall. Yes,
4 under total. Yeah, shot 68 today.
In total control. Spoke, with was it Steve Sands afterwards, just about a little bit more about mental health and. Gosh, for somebody who's, again, should be in college. Actually, I think he should have just graduated college for the record. But he has ended 1 round. This is Justin Ray's stat, of course. Ended 1 round of the U.S. Open in his career outside the top 10. That's pretty wild. So, are you expecting him to stick around this weekend?
I am for
I think
sure.
he's just solid. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think he's gonna win. But I could see him just a solid like T8. You know, I don't have high hopes. Now, on the other hand, I'm very excited to see Bubba in the mix. I just think Bubba, I don't know, it's kind of been a while since we've seen him. He tends to play well on courses that have kind of angular straight lines. This one's got straight fairways. And I was tweeting about it today. I've just kind of done a full 180, maybe even like a 540 on Bubba. I've gone around like, 1.5 times where I just never really cared for the guy at all. Didn't like his antics, always felt forced, always felt just kind of bitchy and uncomfortable. And, I'm not sure what it is about how he's approached the last couple of years. It just seems like he's just a lot more human now.
I want to pick up. I feel the same way. And I wonder if that comes with us maturing at all in terms of like the silly things we used to make fun of him for, maybe were a bit not validated, or do you still feel validated in a lot of the reason why we initially were not on the Bubba train? I'm kind of conflicted in this because I haven't found reason to hate Bubba for like 4 years now. And I don't know if that's him kind of making a turn, or is that me? What do you think?
I think it's actually golf, right? Like we have actual villains now. Like we have Bryson and Reed and Antifaldo was kind of tweeting about this earlier. He's like, hey, like we have actual guys doing like bad stuff now. And Bubba, his little hijinks, or him bitching at Teddy, or like he treated my mother-in-law like shit at the shark shootout one year as a volunteer in the clubhouse, like just like treating people poorly, right? And I think, I just think it's when you act like a human and kind of own up to things and just say, hey, like I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to be a better person. Like, I don't know. That seems to be the path forward to, people just, at least it shows you care a little bit. Right.
It seems genuine too. It seems like everything with him seemed phony for a long time, whether it's, yelling at this person and then you turning up at this thing, doing the PGA Tour social thing and making everybody like you. And like, I feel like he's stopped trying to make everyone like him and just is very like much more present and aware of things and kind of just letting it all hang out a little bit better. I kind of feel it's a similar thing to Poulter. Like I don't feel the need or the urgency or the desire to hate on Poulter much anymore. I think I'm just kind of slowly coming around on these guys, and I can't tell if that's a me thing or if it's, them developing or growing up.
I think also it's something with Bubba that never really squared up for me, where he would do all these things for attention, whether it be the hovercraft or the pink shaft or the pink club or the golf boys stuff or the Volvic, and whether that attention meant money, maybe he was just hustling for $1, but that stuff never squared up with kind of the sense you got of him not being comfortable in his own skin and not being comfortable in the spotlight. Right. And so it's kind of like, you got to be true to yourself. And it seems like now he's at least kind of accepted both his reality as a pretty famous athlete and also kind of toned down on those things that were kind of running counter to that, to his nature or his sensibilities.
So real quick, and I want to get Cody's take on this, but before we do, Bubba's U.S. Open record is comically bad. He finished T5 kind of out of nowhere at Oakmont in 2007. His best U.S. Open finish since then is a T31 last year at the U.S. Open. No, so I'm sorry, T18 in 2009, but he has no top 10s in U.S. Opens ever. So I don't know if he has the patience to kind of play this style of golf for 72 holes unless he's truly turned over a new leaf. So I'm not counting on him being around for 2 more days, but needless to say, I'm quite surprised to see him sitting there at 3 under and going to be playing with Rambo tomorrow. But Cody,
also,
where do you go ahead?
I mean, this kind of goes with like the thing of like, is it a real U.S. Open?
No,
and like I'm just throwing that out there, right? I think we said before the week, Randy and I, we didn't go to U.S. Open Media Day at Torrey because we were kind of protesting it, and I think we were debating before the week: is it do they get a third of a major for this one? Do they get a half a major? Do they get the equivalent of like winning 3 Farmers Opens? I don't know. I'm still up in the air on that. I think the weekend will kind of dictate that, but going back to it, like that's what it feels like though. It feels like a Farmers Open with a little bit warmer weather, right?
I am definitely in agreement there. We'll wrap the show with we'll do an evaluation as of each night as to where we stand on this being a major. Cody, where do you net out on Bubba?
I love Bubba. I think you've seen tremendous growth from him, and I know talk about it a lot, but it's always been. I think he's the ultimate showman. He's always wanted to please people, whether that's sponsors or family or fans, really in general. But he never really understood how to handle that. I think he's gotten a grip on that, in the last couple of years, and you see everything that he does outside of the game, and it's finally catching up inside the game. I mean, he's definitely been playing great leading into the tournament, and I think I know this doesn't set up for him, but has Bubba ever like imploded anywhere? Like he's just the scrappy dog when he's like in the top 10 of the leaderboard. Like he's gonna fight and fight and fight and fight and figure it out because that's just how he thinks. He thinks differently, and straight lines and everything mean nothing to him because he can make shots happen. And I think that's perfect, really, for this course.
Did you get to watch him play at all in person? I feel like he's still. I said it last night, like number one dude probably when you show up to play, other than like Cam, Champ, and Bryson, number one dude that you want to go watch.
Yeah, I didn't see any of him today. I watched him yesterday, and still the driver off the deck on 9 was incredible.
He did it again. He did it again today. Yeah. It was aimed even further. I swear his feet were aimed even further right this time around. But a lot of people, a lot of people out there, especially in Southern California, around the Callaway headquarters and stuff. Everyone calls him Rombo. Everyone's been saying, Rombo. We got to talk about him sitting at -3. I feel like he's just looming there with bad intentions, right? It doesn't feel like he's had anything really go his way, and I still don't expect him to like make a move, but gosh, he just sits there like just loom. Is he loitering or is he lurking?
Well, he's got bad intentions, but he's also got good perspective, right? Perspective intensifies.
Triple perspective. They did it 3 times in 10 seconds when he interviewed us.
No, I mean, I think he felt like he almost felt like too obvious of a pick this week. I think he ended up like 11-1 or 10-1.
He got down to like 8-1 at one point. Yeah.
And his track record speaks for itself on this golf course. It doesn't seem like he's been killing it thus far. Like he, pretty ho hum front 9 today. Birdie yesterday. Let me get around 2 here. Still, the damn US Open website just, I just can't get used to it. But yeah, kind of quiet on the front 9 both rounds. Like he's had 2 birdies, 1 bogey on the front 9, both days combined. Bogey on 13 today, and then good birdie on 18 there. And then really, looking at round 1, like kind of topsy-turvy on the back 9, another birdie on 18. But I just feel like if he's not playing his best golf yet, and he's right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I don't have the current odds up, but he's got to be the clear favorite, right?
Yeah. I mean, as far as data golf goes, and I'm guessing what the sports book, I'll pull up DraftKings numbers here, but that he's got to be the favorite. It's got to be him far and away. But before we get any further down the board, TC, you want to tell us 1, maybe what you might be sipping on, and 2, a little bit about our friends at Wine Access?
Yeah, would love to. I'm actually sipping on a Zinfandel tonight. I cooked a strip steak. I got a little bored about 7 p.m. and headed over to the store and cooked a nice steak for my wife and I. But Wine Access, I got this Zin. This is a Ridge Zin, but our wine of the month this month is the 2017 Phoenix Cab. It is a wine that is exclusive to Wine Access from a winery that Robert Parker has counted among his Napa Valley superstars, and that Food and Wine has profiled as one of the Valley's most exquisite small gems. I believe they've got an NDA on it. It's grapes from this vineyard would typically cost hundreds of dollars. This one's available through their close relationship for about $45. And then go to wineaccess.com/NLU for 15% off your first 3 orders as well. So talk to like our friend Job. I know he went deep in the Wine Access store the other night, texted me a couple, like they had 98 Chateau Moussard in there. You can have some fun in there, and it's also fun to see the 15% off kind of melt off some dollars there when you start stacking it up in your cart. So a lot of super cool Tuscan stuff in there. They got a cool Sicilian wine, and just a lot of great California and Oregon stuff in there right now too. So
great stuff.
wineaccess.com/NLU.
15% off. Thank you. Live shows were very different when we couldn't get, live shows are different when they can roast us live during the ads. Like I greatly appreciate all those comments. Thank you so much for that. But we are still going to, if somebody slays us with a comment, we gave out a Precision Pro rangefinder last night to B, who just crushed my small TV that's in the background. Which I told my wife about it. We're currently in the market for a new TV because my ego is so damaged by getting roasted for my small TV. But as we mentioned, Xander, what he did there on 18. I mean, we're watching Akshay Bhatia try to make the cut here, and he crushes a drive and needs fairway wood to get over the green on 18. Xander needed 4-iron to go over the green on 18. He was hitting some drives yesterday. The driving distance stats are kind of weird how they all net out, but is his long game jumping off the page at anyone else other than me right now?
He's just a predator with the driver, with the long irons. I'm just blown away at how high he hits it.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
I'm wondering. I truly wonder if he's going to stick with the arm lock for the rest of the weekend. It looked like he hit a couple of putts that were not even close to the right speed there coming in, and it just reeked of dude, I don't know if I'm going to win the U.S. Open putting it like this. I want to know how committed he is to this thing, because the honeymoon period might be over for the arm lock as it looks right now. He's one of the only guys near the top of the leaderboard that's losing strokes on the green. He's lost almost a stroke on the green, but gained 3.07 off the tee, gained 3.49 in approach, and gained 1.1 around the green. It's really his putting's the only reason why he's not winning this tournament right now. So
I would say he's got to be getting tired from bending over, doing the reading on his stomach there too, right? Yeah,
he's got the push-up green reading thing going on, which his putting's not been disastrous. Almost everyone else, if we're looking at our sustainability models, almost everyone else near the top of the leaderboard is not looking that sustainable. Like Richard Bland's putting has been insane, as you might expect. Bryson's actually putting his ass off. He's got 4.2 strokes gained putting. And so around this time is when you start looking at the guys that are actually really striking it great. And Louis and Bland are the two that jump off the pages near the top of the leaderboard that are not necessarily striking it that great. But quiet 69 for your boy Scotty Scheffler. He is leading the field in strokes gained putting as of this week. I don't know. I didn't really get to see any of him the last couple of days, despite watching quite literally every minute of golf that's been on TV. But found that worthy of noting as well. So.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't really seem like a guy that would strike me as being a predator on this course. But I mean, if his long game shows up, watch out, I guess. But I mean, it's weird. I never really think of Scotty as someone who's going to putt lights out, right? I mean, I know he's always got a bunch of 12, 15 footers. He's always got looks, but maybe it's just one of those things that we always talk about with Rory or Finau, guys like that they just have so many of those looks that you kind of penalize them a little bit because they're just constantly missing birdie putts on TV. I don't know. Maybe that's just
all right. I think I'm ready to do some Torrey stuff. Cody, before we turn it over to TC, you're leaving the grounds here. I'm guessing there's an announcement going on above your head here, if that's what that sound means. But raise your hand.
One thing I want to cover before. Something that we're missing on the or haven't talked about on the leaderboard. Phenomenal day today, Kyle Westmoreland. So, had an awesome morning. A lot of people don't know about him, but went to the Air Force Academy, former captain in the Air Force. Just absolutely playing lights out. Walked him for about 4 holes today. Couldn't be more impressed, and I think he's got a pretty big, not only weekend ahead of him, but future Korn Ferry Tour player and everything else coming his way. But shout out to him making the cut. Akshay, phenomenal to make the cut. I was heartbroken for the amateur. That 3-putt at the end, just gut wrenching.
That was
to
the
get low
spectrum
amateur
of golf right there. That was
right.
That was both awesome to see. For Akshay is also 3 years younger than Kozan, which is kind of interesting how they presented it in that realm. Which he was playing for low am, which you only win low am if you make the cut. Which I don't know where I net out on that. That seems like it seems a little harsh. He was still the low am, right?
You got to make the cut, man.
No, I think you make the cut.
Come on. All right,
everybody's a low am, man.
Not to make this a big coverage take, but this is a coverage take. Like, what? That's the best possible. You've got an amateur, you've got a super young pro who qualified his way into this event, and you're not showing them blow by blow down the stretch. You're trying to force feed us Jimmy Walker, or they were showing us a lot of Rafa Cabrera-Bello, who I like, but it just seems like there's no emphasis on, like, that's a story, that's a narrative, that's what the U.S. Open's all about. I mean, their whole brand platform is from many one thing, and you would think, all right, like we have an amateur on the cut line. Why aren't they just leaning into that and showing the shit out of that for the last 45 minutes of the broadcast?
I mean, especially once you flip over to Peacock for the last hour of your telecast, the 5th channel change you would have to have made during the day. Those are going to be your hardest of hardcore fans, right? Like you don't need to lean on Jimmy Walker or past major champions to like build, there were two at that point, there were 2 people left that could have their weekends were in doubt. And that's when they finally picked up on Akshay. At one point they showed Kozan putting on 15. And Akshay was lining up his putt to save par, and they cut away from that to go to a commercial. It was just like, oh my God, like this is a story right here. A 19-year-old just made the cut at the U.S. Open. I know he's literally, if he had an A next to his name, this would have been a much bigger deal. But like, I don't know. This was something
that's right in front of him. It's like slapping him in the face.
They have to care about it. So we do everything for the longest day in golf for final qualifying.
Yeah.
But yet there's on the leaderboard, there's nothing that demotes, hey, this guy made it through final qualifying. This story is here to watch. And that's what Friday afternoon, Friday evening coverage should have been about. And again,
especially when they pride themselves on, hey, we're going to show everybody in the championship. We're going to make this into, hey, this is the culmination of month and a half, 2 months of local qualifying, sectional qualifying, all of that. And then they just kind of throw that shit out the window and treat it as like window dressing. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And they were on the air for 26 and a half hours the last 2 days. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't have time to tell some of these stories. That's the frustrating part. But all right, TC, Torrey, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna guess that they are who we thought they were. Or have you totally changed your mind about Torrey Pines, the South Course?
No. I mean, everybody thinks I'm a contrarian. If I was a contrarian, I'd be slurping Torrey right now, because I feel like I was the guy.
There's a little bit of that going around.
I used to hate this band before everybody else hated this band. Like, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago, like I was hating on Torrey, and I don't really know why I didn't like it. It's just never really, I always called it Firestone West. Right. And it just doesn't do anything for me. It feels so disconnected from such a spectacular site. Right. And, it just, I don't know. I just don't like the way it plays. KVV called it a gray water pond on 18, which made me laugh. Like I respect the fact that it's public. I mean, there's a lot of great public courses out there, but that doesn't make it a good course, in my opinion. Right. It just, like, if it, and I feel similarly about Bethpage. I don't like the changes that they've made there. It just feels so one note. Right. And, and by the same token, like I played Chambers Bay last month, and I love Chambers Bay. Like I would watch the shit out of another U.S. Open from Chambers Bay now that they fixed the greens, and think it's a terrible spectator course, but I think it would be so much more engaging than a Torrey Pines, where it asks a bunch of different questions to the players throughout the rounds. Whereas, I'm left just like I watch this tournament every year, the Farmers every year, and then I've seen 2 U.S. Opens there now. other than 4, 13, 18, and maybe 1 or 2 other holes, I can't pick anything out for you. I couldn't tell you what's what at all. It just all bleeds together for me.
I had a moment today where I was like, oh my God, it was near the end of the show. And I was like, oh, I've watched this for 2 days. I've watched the Farmers every year. I do not know what the 15th hole is. And I should know the 15th hole of a tour event that I watched. I had to go look at it. Oh, it's a 500-yard dead straight par 4. That's why I don't remember what it is. But for the people that get mad about the Torrey stuff, like, oh, it's a great course, blah, blah, blah. Like, what is it better than? Like, what would you rank Torrey above? It on anyone's list, it has to be the bottom in terms of major championship rotas, right? Like, if I would honestly like to hear a course that you rate. People, go ahead in the comments if you're a Torrey lover.
And they've spent so much fucking money on it too. They've spent like $25 million on it in the last 10 or 15 years. I was talking to somebody who's a San Diego local. He said that a tree fell on the bathroom out there, and like they have the worst water stations, the worst bathrooms out there. A tree fell in the bathroom, and they built it the exact same way, even though it was like this 30-year-old bathroom. Like, and that just kind of shows you how they think about the course as well, where it's this spectacular site and it's this spectacular piece of land, and like there's just no improvement, or there's no emphasis on, you know, making it better and being the best version of itself. It's crazy. Big Win Sports hitting us with TPC Twin Cities is better. Yeah. It very well might be Harbortown or no, come on, that one's not fair. Harbortown. All right, this is good. Torrey is the Roost Chris. Hold on, it's going up. The Roost Chris of golf courses. You're paying Pinehurst prices non-resident for essentially an Outback Steakhouse, which is a fair take. And it'd be one thing if it promoted exciting golf, and it just doesn't freaking do it. It's going to be a slog all the way to the finish, and they got to hope that they get some people going head to head. But I'll take Harding Park 9-1 versus Torrey. Yeah, because I would think Harding Park's kind of a you know, accurate comp in a big city, you know, relatively urban golf. I know it's kind of it's not next to the ocean, but even like without the ocean there, watching it, I still take Harding Park. And I'm pulling this comment up on the screen from Jordan Summers. I love Torrey because I'm a local and grew up playing it. I know every inch of every hole, so it's awesome to watch pros play the course I grew up playing. Listen, that is like, I can't argue with any of that. Like, that's a very personal thing. And like, for all the people that are like, oh, you hate public courses and all, like, no, like it can be a cool and awesome site for local people to play public golf, municipal course that is that scenic. Like, of course, that is something we're going to celebrate in this game. Yet we're talking about playing the national championship on it. If you can't separate those two things, I don't know if I can help you. So I'm waiting for Cody to chime in.
Jordan Summers, you get that once you're already, man.
Yeah. I don't feel bad about that. That's a very excellent point.
God, Alex Higgs is just dogging me in the comments. C-suite struggling to empathize with public spots, and then
is that Harry's brother?
I think so. And then all my, you know, dogging all my wine bottles in the back. I'm in my office here. It's golf clubs over here. Got wine and whiskey up there. Like, I don't live in a big house. I live in Florida. I don't have a basement, folks.
The kids are in bed. Give them a break. It's Father's Day weekend.
Exactly.
Listen, none of this has to do with like actual Torrey Pines. Like, it's about the course itself. Like, we love the fact that it's public and a ton of locals can go play for super cheap and everything. Like, we love everything about that. It's just that like the design sucks. And you can't host a major championship here. Like,
and it could be really good. It's a great site. That's the crazy part.
We haven't talked enough about how much 13 sucks. Like, that always freaking brutal. Balls rolling all the way back onto the same spot with the divots, a green that doesn't hold even the best second shots, a weird ass green shape. That whole freaking sucks.
But dude, they put in the new tee box, so chill.
It made it even worse. Now, like, nobody could get there.
It's so far back there too. Like,
and nobody hits it in the. You don't hit it in the canyon either. Exactly. Like, not one ball has gone in there. Like, it's so dumb. So, anyway,
Cody, how's the office park there? Which hole's the office park off of? The big like Scripps building. The Scripps Club.
I don't know if it's off of next to 9 or 10, but it's like it's weird because you don't see that on obviously on coverage, but like the lodge, and then there's just a wall of like corporate buildings leading all the way
we
up.
see it. We see plenty of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. Like
It was like
maybe
the
some,
old
like, Memphis
the old
vibes going on.
The old Byron Nelson had that too at
yeah.
Las Colinas. They had that going big time.
All right, so who's going to still ride for first in, last out pairings for Saturday? Total, just leave it up to the gods. Bryson and Brooks tie, and they weren't even close to getting paired together. Who's going to still ride for it?
It just feels like you want to play God, man.
It feels like
where do you draw the line?
It feels like the draw 25 meme. It's either admit Solly's right or draw 25 cards in the Uno game. And TC's like, all right, I'll draw 25. Like, no way. I don't want to admit that.
I just don't know where. I don't know where it stops. I don't know where your heavy-handedness stops. I don't know. You're gonna start trying to manipulate pairings of guys that aren't tied, and then you're gonna start. And granted, maybe it is an entertainment product. Maybe, I was thinking about this earlier. You were talking about the Holy Moly jumping ahead of golf in the TV ratings and all that. Or I guess Holy Moly is golf. But, when the PGL happens, maybe they give a couple spots to Holy Moly. Maybe they give a couple spots to Big Break and have like a Holy Moly Big Break team there. Maybe the USGA
love the Big Break. Don't bring that pipe guy back.
Oh, pipe dream, Mark Burke, that guy was sick. But Holy Moly, maybe they give like one U.S. Open. It's like Holy Moly is a U.S. Open sectional, and whoever advances from Holy Moly gets a spot in the U.S. Open. Like we're talking about growing the game here.
I think you may need to use the U.S. Open to get into Holy Moly based on the ratings. I mean, how is golf getting smoked by a miniature golf obstacle course show? Like, how is this? How is no one talking about this?
What is Holy Moly? I've never watched it before.
I mean, it's Rob Riggle and Joe Tessitore are the hosts. I've never watched it either, but it's like a American Ninja. I imagine it's American Ninja Warrior style putt show that I think involves some celebrities of some kind, but very DVRable. Yet got 3 million people to watch it, whereas only 2 million.
Putt, and then they get their shit beat out of them while they're playing putt. Basically,
I do not know if they do that. I think it's just like zany putt, like obstacle course kind of putt, miniature golf of some kind, which I know is different.
Right up my alley. Like
Wipeout. Big Win Sports says it's like Wipeout, and Rare Medic says it's eye cancer. So ratings are coming in hot for it, but it's beating the national championship of golf.
Yeah. So somebody in the comments is calling Cody Peter North, which I kind of like.
Ben Ruttenberg, Holy Moly caused Hovland's eye injury. Boom! Precision Pro rangefinder coming your way. Ben Ruttenberg, best comment of the night. Send me an email, nolayingup@gmail.com.
The toughest of scenes.
It better, yeah. Which I was trying to workshop a joke, and I'm glad I didn't get it out. Something along the lines of like, my eyes didn't like what I was seeing on my scorecard is why I withdrew. But it sounds like this actually was a very real real thing that Hovland was dealing with today. I know that was your pick, TC. I know you're heartbroken. So
it was, and I got him. Like I think he's missed 3 cuts in the last 18 months or like year and a half. Basically, but he's so hard to pick. Like when he's truly gonna flash. He's always solid. This was his first missed cut in a major. I mean, I guess he didn't miss the cut, but in my opinion, he missed the cut. Like even before the eye stuff, he didn't play well yesterday. But man, like, two amateur appearances in majors, and then I think another 5 or 6 as a pro. And this was his first missed cut this week. That's crazy.
Great. Good question from David Pilgreen. Tiger played this course on it was only one broken leg. Tiger plays this course on a broken leg, and we're giving sand in the eye a pass. That's very, very, very fair point. I think if he was tied for the lead, he would have kept it going, but there was no hope of that. I think he was past the point of no return.
Can we go back up? We've skipped over, I think, possibly the story of the day.
Is it Mackenzie Hughes?
Yes. He shot 67 with pars on both 9 and 18 today. He started on 10, and then he parred 18 and then parred 9 to close it out. He could have had a 66 today. in the U.S. Open would have been, I believe, the low round of the day. I believe his 67 was tied for the low round of the day as it was. But
it was with Dick Bland.
Yeah, but yeah, Mackenzie
And
Hughes,
Bubba.
man, he's back. He's back. He's playing really good golf. Streelman continues his heater, 71-69. He's 2 under. They're both at 2 under there with Xander. We'd be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to Guido Migliozzi at 1 under, and Patrick Rogers, very, very quiet T10 right now, 70-71. And then Bezadenhout. I don't even think we've talked about Bryson yet.
I was going to say we got to get to Bryson, but of course, I'm assuming by Patrick Rogers you mean the gentleman who was the standout at Stanford, had 11 wins in college. Broke Tiger Woods' record. That's his full name. Just want to make sure we got that properly documented. But yeah, Bryson found something in his sleep last night. Did you hear this? He didn't wake up in the middle of the night. He took something in during his sleep that he realized he was doing wrong, and found something and shot 69 today. So
nice.
It was nice.
So I kind of missed all of his. I was doing kiddo stuff last night.
We missed it too.
He was there on the range till like 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, it was late.
Banging balls in the dark.
He was there late using the launch monitor to tell him things, apparently, but he didn't get anything out of it. But it came to him in the middle of the night. But
God, he's the JJ Watt of golf.
God, there's a take. That's a fantastic take.
The cameras are on me. All right, cool. I gotta do something dramatic.
He had a little run. I feel like he's done this in pretty much every major since he's become the launcher of like, all right, boom, that was your 4 birdies, 4 under in 6-hole stretch just to launch you right back into the tournament. He actually kind of fizzled a little bit. He made 2 bogeys when he flipped over. I really thought he was going to make a run, but sitting at even, not out of it. I don't think he's in great position to win it, but probably in position for another top 5 in a major where, again, shout out to, this playing style where you don't need everything to go right for you to be right there and in contention in the tournament and have probably a really high finish. So I don't know. I really do hope we get Brooks Bryson for Sunday, though. I know some people, I feel like by the time we get it, we're going to be bored with this thing if we're not already bored already by it. But
can we just keep going down the leaderboard?
Yeah,
sure. I was going to say
Morikawa, even par.
Morikawa. Easy 4 under. I kind of eliminated him last night. I said anybody that was +4 or worse was too far back. I don't think he's going to win still, but that was tied for round of the day. Again, that was for as shaky as he was in round 1. He was very, very, very solid in round 2.
Kind of a weird round. I mean, he bogeyed the first. He had 5 birdies on his front 9, and then he parred the last 9 holes, which is kind of. I guess like super solid 67, but also just kind of a weird 67. Too bad we don't have Randy on tonight. Harris English, even par, 72-70. Continues to flush the ball, or back flushing the ball, I should say. JT, even as well.
I don't know if you caught this. They dropped 3 nices within 15 seconds of him finishing with a 69. It was like, it almost was like, all right, guys, you ready to do it? We're gonna drop 3 of them here. Hicks hit him with one. Zinger hit one that was like emphasized, like nice finish there for Justin Thomas, and then Hicks went back in for a third one. I was like, all right, these guys are just messing with us at this point.
And then we've got Hadwin at even, and then at +1 we've got Tom Hoagie, Westwood. All right, so who finishes lower who finishes better, Westwood or Dick Bland this week?
I'm gonna go Dick Bland.
Westwood's spotting him six strokes.
I'm gonna say Bland. I don't think we're due for like a full meltdown from Bland. It's just like gonna net out over 36 holes or the next 36 holes. He's a top 10 would be a tremendous finish for him.
Cody, what do you think?
Yeah, Dick Bland. I don't think the issue with Lee is that it appears that he's stuck on, shooting around even par, and I don't think Torrey Pines is going to set up for that. He's going to have to get up to probably 8 or 9, probably to be in contention. Maybe that's a little bit deep, but I don't think Dick Bland's going to come all the way back. I mean,
what's your read on it? Like, is there any wind this weekend? Is there any?
Can we get some new tees? Can we get something moved around? Can we get a pin on the edge? Like, we need some kind of twist to this. It cannot play 0.4 shots harder than the Farmers Insurance Open. Like, it just cannot. We have to do something, make it way easier or way harder. Some kind of different setup.
I think the biggest thing, we always talk about when guys go have kids and come back and they are just balling out of control their first tournament back. Well, congratulations to the Westwoods, because I think he's got a little honeymoon vibes going. So,
DJ made a cut, thankfully, in a major. It's been the first time since the Masters last year, I believe.
I feel like you're conveniently skipping over the rib here.
We can talk about the rib. He made a little move.
He made 7 bogeys today.
He started out hot and then made 3 bogeys in a row as soon as I refused to tweet about it. The power of the tweet jinx has been very strong this week. Made 3 bogeys in a row, birdied 18, but then made 3 more bogeys on 2, 4, and 5. At least made 2 birdies coming in, but yeah, there was a fair amount of stinkiness, I think, in that round. But a great shot of him. I don't know how are the cameras ready to like shoot at his hotel room on the balcony when he's standing out there with his baby? Like, were they waiting for him to walk out there with the baby? Like that felt a little bit I don't know, a
little bit Truman Show, a little bit staged.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know if that was a special, they're making Golf Pass content up there or what, but that felt a little weird. But
we've got like you guys do this to me every time when you're going down the leaderboard. You like intentionally skipped over Brendan Grace because whether we're Autoflex brothers, and I know you guys are extremely jealous of that, but like, I mean, he's got a lot of room to go here.
Cody, what do you think they outlaw first, arm lock putting or the Autoflex shaft?
I don't think they're gonna take Autoflex away. It's a no-brainer. They probably should. It's awesome. Can't recommend it more if people have the money to go buy it, but it's not going to be anchoring. The craziest thing that I saw today, honestly, is, Cooch is probably like the grandfather of arm lock putting. His backwards arm lock is just wild to see because it makes no sense. It looks like, the angles wise, it looks like he should be like scooping the ball. Obviously, the shaft's bent enough, so it's not, but it just is wild seeing in person.
Yeah, I can't get on board with the arm lock. It's got to go quick. And the Greens books, it sounds like the PGA Tour voted to outlaw him this week. Like, all that stuff's got to go.
Which is crazy. The fact that the PGA Tour is taking matters into their own hands. Like, in what world are we living where the PGA Tour is regulating? World. It's insane.
That's a player's thing.
During U.S. Open week. I know, it's crazy. Like, the USGA, wake up. You guys are asleep at the wheel. It's insane. I feel like we got to talk about Ches.
Well, I was going to give a shout out to Spieth for shooting 69 to make the cut as well. I mean, I kind of had written him off after day one. That's I have not seen him swing a golf club this week, unfortunately. But shout out to
or fortunately.
Yeah, that might be true. Well, yeah, you have a Ches highlight. Yeah.
I mean, he hooped it on his first hole of the day today on 10.
But what did he get for it?
He got the Cisco WebEx shot of the day, which is a shocker because he's sponsored by Cisco WebEx.
Is he? Oh God, I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah. Oh, it was an activation for the ages. He made it 2 on 10, and then 16 pars in a row, and then he birdied 9. Like, what a round! What a classy round. Neil is so pumped. I talked to him earlier. There's some interesting pairings tomorrow, like Joaquin Niemann and Big Bob McIntyre, 2 promising young foreigners. Leash and DJ playing together, which I think brings us to how far back is too far back, right?
Akshay's got to play by himself tomorrow morning. That just seems personal.
Seems kind of cruel.
Did you guys ever like go to the park to meet up with your friends and nobody showed up? You just kind of went on the swing set by yourself?
Oh, many times. That's why I do a podcast now.
Cody, I grew up in Atlanta. We didn't really have parks. We just didn't have parks.
Too far back. Plus, I think +1. No one at +1 or versus winning this thing. I think +1 is too far back.
So it's even or better.
Even or better, I think, is where the winner's going to come from.
All right. So there's no conditions to speak of. Like there's no wind or anything rolling in, or it's not going to get hot tomorrow or anything like that. It's just going to be basically the same thing we've been seeing the last 2 days for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Fuck. They got to do something, man.
It's so bad. It's so bad. This is like the most minimal effort for a championship I could ever recall. Like, there's nothing unique. There's nothing different about this than the Farmers. Like the natural elements of the grass types being different, and it's a little bit firmer. But like they didn't do anything different than what they would have done for Farmers.
No, they.
And I'm a Bodenhammer guy.
They punched the greens.
Yeah.
So they did do something different.
So,
how about Phil? Phil was slurping Jason Gore in his post-round comments.
What'd he say?
Just going out of his way to say, I think Jason Gore is really, really running this organization the right way. I'm paraphrasing here, but really, really just done a lot of good things. I think he's really, really been a great influence on the USGA. Basically, just double middle fingers at Mike Davis, in the week of, like, I feel like they should let Mike Davis like one last hurrah, right, before he rides off into the sunset. They've been doing the Mike Davis montage videos and referencing him, and and like I like Mike Davis. I think he was kind of underrated. I think he did a lot of good things that probably get underreported on. Also some very high profile mistakes as well. So it's kind of, you got to take the good with the bad, but they should let him get funky with it one last time.
100%. Like I said, messing up Shinnecock was criminal. That was borderline malpractice. But like, go do whatever you want with Torrey. Like it is not interesting enough on its own, even like the most pristine conditions, for it to just stand as a normal setup. Like shit should definitely get weird here at Torrey. So
special shout out to Patrick Reed for the 3-putt on 18 today. That was awesome. Awesome way to finish things.
Did he make the cut?
He did, +3.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
they were thinking at the time that +3 was going to like miss the cut.
But they could not do the cut today. That was a tough seed. Oh my God. Peter Jacobson. I don't understand how you can be around professional golf for like 50 years and not understand how a cut line works. Like not even like within the realm. Like data golf is all over all this stuff. Like there's a whole nother wave of people going off, and they're like, somebody at +3 needed to birdie the last hole to get to +2 to get in. Meanwhile, +4 got in without the conditions changing. Like nothing changed in the models at all. I do not understand how somebody like that's a I don't mean to put that too much on the announcers, because like they got to have some kind of statistician or producer on there, like tell people like, no, don't try to pretend the cut might go to +2. Sheesh.
Totally. You got to be looking out for them.
Yeah. +2 would have been 40 guys making the cut. So, anyways,
there's so
I'm
many
making a
good
move
tomorrow
in my DraftKings championship series. I might be going to Vegas for the championship here. I'm in 6th place out of like 200. And just putting everyone on notice for that.
Don't count your chickens. I was in the same boat for the Masters. I had like Cam and Leash and who else did I have? I had a couple other guys that were like way up there, and it did not turn out well for me. So
all 6 made the cut. I might be a DFS guy now. I'm kind of in on this, but
there's some great tee times, man. Like
what do you
Matt
got?
Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood at 9 a.m. I'd go watch the shit out of that. Woodland Keimer at 8:49 right before them. Patrick Reed and Sergio together at 9:33. That seems kind of combustible. Adam Scott and Matsuyama.
JT and Morikawa.
Yeah, DJ and Leash, McIntyre and Neiman. Just a lot of interesting pairings. I think.
Brooks and Bryson. Oh no, wait, sorry. Brooks is playing with Adam Hadwin, and then Bryson is playing with Christian Bezadenhout. So that's how that shook out. So cool. That's fun. That's cool. I'm excited for that. All right. Anything else before we sign off?
Speaking on that real quick, gallery wise, I did not hear a lot of Brooksies and all that stuff. The San Diego crowd was definitely calm and not up in people's asses all day long. So that was kind of refreshing to hear.
there's not much of a crowd presence. At least it's not coming through on TV. It's crowds. I know there's not a ton of people there, but there's not a lot of noise. There's not a lot of juice flowing from a television perspective. Did it feel different on the ground?
No, I mean they kind of bundle around like the main 5 holes that you can get there because that's the only place that they have hospitality set up at, and nobody goes and watches the back 9, and really nobody goes down and checks out 3, 4, 5, because trying to get back up to 7, 8, 9 is just such a pain in the butt.
I'm kind of curious, where do they shoot Holy Moly? Where's the set for that?
Well, I was just gonna say that that's not really that big a deal, Cody, to not have buzz or people watching that because Torrey and NBC take care of the rest with the excitement. So it's totally fine, I'd say. But
right, last thing, biggest disappointment so far. Who missed the cut? Because there's some big numbers out there. I didn't even realize. Justin Rose 78, 77 plus 13.
Well, I think Rosie was all concerned about the Scotland-England football match today. Which 0-0 draw. It was tough. The Scots are stoked, and the English blokes are devastated.
I would say the bullet missing the cut after a great 71 yesterday was a tough one to swallow, and I know our boy Max had a tough back 9 there to miss the cut by a few. Zalatoris was a disappointing one to me. I'd say that's probably my biggest disappointment. For as many as the top names did not really do much damage in day one. Not a lot of them missed the cut. DJ, Rory, all these guys kind of flipped it around. Spieth, especially. Morikawa had a great day today. JT had a good day today. They kind of flipped it at the bottom there and at least made the cut. So not a ton of big names. Finau was a complete disappointment.
Thank you.
What do the stats say on Zalatoris? He didn't make a single birdie this week.
Oh my God.
Seems almost impossible. Like, what are the stats? Could he just not get the ball in the hole? Could he not putt, or was it just a bad week for him, like tee to green?
I'll pull this up here. Anything else you guys want to get out here before we wrap?
Yeah, it's kind of like Sahith Theegala was kind of off to the races early. I think he was 2 under through his first 11, then made a triple on 12, finished +7. Kind of bummed to see him. I thought we were going to see a nice run out of somebody like him or a Cole Hammer or, just like one of the amateurs, because it seems like it's a pretty good crop of amateurs. Webb Simpson shooting 79 round 1. I didn't foresee that one. I don't see a whole lot of 79s lurking out there for as good of a ball striker as Webb Simpson is.
Not enough trees out there. Zalatoris -3 on the greens, almost -2 around the greens, and just didn't do a whole lot tee to green either. So it just didn't add up for him this week.
Huh. Which is, I mean, I think it's, he's young, and I think we probably expect a hell of a lot out of him, and he's probably just needs a little bit more seasoning to be consistent week to week to week, especially because, he's got some things to work on, especially on the greens. I mean, Sully, Big Tone's got to be your biggest disappointment, right?
Yeah, that's a great. You know what? He had a great putting week. That's the frustrating part. He must have hit it like absolute shit because he's putting left hand low now, and maybe some arm lock going on there too. I've kind of losing track of all the different variables going on in the putting world right now. But yeah, he actually rolled it good and just hit it like shit and non-factor. I would have thought Torrey would have been a good place for him. So.
Tyrrell hitting Tyrrell 78 today. 78. That was rough as well. Sebastian Munoz, bad day today, 71, 77. I don't know. It just seemed like one of those things. It's like, hey, it's there. Like, it's not the course's fault. It's not the draw's fault. It's not anything. It's just like, go get it, right? And you either have it or you don't.
I hope we get some stuff happen this weekend, man. Today was a tough scene. It was just not a lot happened in the golf tournament today.
I mean, I think the upside though is like if it doesn't happen, then like they don't ever go to Torrey again.
Oh, they can't go again, no matter what.
That seems like a win in and of itself.
Just wait till the back 9 on Sunday. That's all that matters.
I will sacrifice a tournament if we never have to do another one.
I mean, based on the number of people watching, maybe that is all that matters.
Right. That's how we're here now.
Tune in next week to Holy Moly.
Lucas Ward, I see your question. the beer situation, the viral video. Yes, the lines were crazy yesterday. Today, miraculously, they set up like additional, not like food, the normal tents. They had like little mini tents up just for beverages. So they got it dialed. So you're good there if you're going out.
I do want to give a shout out. We're not going to name a name, but there was a lady on the LPGA today, hit the green in regulation on the first hole and made an 8, which is really, really cool.
Which is special.
I felt that deeply. So
who's your guys' winner? Who's your pick to win right now?
Rahm.
That's the head pick. Yeah,
I'd love to say Xander, but it's Rahm.
I'm gonna say Xander because I'm wrong on all of these. So Cody, who's your win?
I'm putting a little respect on it, and it's Mr. Scott Scheffler.
Whoa, interesting. Wow. I thought you were gonna say Scott Stallings, and that was gonna be.
There we go again. I know everybody else doesn't see it, but I got so much shit for that from the team. It's crazy. I deserve it very much so. I still think he's vibing wherever he's at. Chattanooga.
Scott Simpson. Now,
cut the guy out.
Gosh,
Scotty Scheffler is hitting the ball so good, and he's really weird. Like, a pretty comfortable grouping with him the first 2 days, and he just seemed like he was in complete control of the situation. He didn't have any crazy emotional outbreaks, and nothing was really too, got away from him. But I just think once he starts making putts, that he's got the total package.
He's been making putts. That's why I don't know if the sustainability models are saying there could be a chance of erosion this week.
Yesterday too.
I know.
All right, so Scheffler and Schauffele are paired together. It's SCA. So they're like those two last names are so similar.
It's SCHSCN.
Yeah, SCHFFLESCN. There's like 3 letters difference in there.
I'm calling it for the show then. If we're doing anagrams with the names, so.
We didn't even talk about Bryson jumping in behind Brooks yesterday. They did that while they were recording.
That was
he's just trolling everybody now.
That he deserves every bit of shit that he gets. And
we talked about that last night. We did the snot, but it was snot boogie. We talked about that.
Maybe not enough.
Solid question for you before we leave. Who you got in the LPGA event? Because it's turning into a really, really, really good leaderboard.
It's time for Leona McGuire.
But
Leona McGuire, it's time. She's been sniffing around there for a little while, and I've heard a lot of people say a lot of really good things about her in terms of her game. So it seems like it's time for her. So let's go with that. How about you?
Yeah, I mean she's got a 3-shot lead. Sue O next, who we played with in Australia, and who I think she was kind of checked out of that round. But we've got I'm hoping Nelly. We got a lot of 66s on the board today. I'm hoping Nelly can summon something because I want to see her kind of rise to the challenge and shut Randy up a little bit. Then Madeline's T9 right now too. She's
interesting.
She's 6 back. So
got some things to follow this weekend when Torrey gets boring. So
I'm so excited to take this red eye back home to North Carolina and watch coverage this week. As have said so many great things about it. It's going to be awesome.
Apparently they're front loading.
How was media dining, by the way?
The food in San Diego is crazy. Media dining specifically was very good. What you would expect for San Diego fare. A lot of tortas, rolled tacos, burritos. I didn't realize what a California burrito was until this week. And I guess they put French fries in with like their carnitas. It's delicious, but I've had like probably 8 burritos. I need to fast. I think I'm going to get some Phil's coffee and take a couple days off next week.
It's good to hear, USGA stepped up their game on that front. It was really good at the U.S. Women's Open last year in Houston as well. They had a bunch of good barbecue. That's always been the knock on the USGA from both players and media that their media dining, player dining was subpar. So they've stepped it up.
Yeah, no complaints there. It was awesome.
Glad to hear it. All right, it's bedtime. Let's get some rest and try not to fall asleep during the television coverage tomorrow. So thanks everybody for joining.
Positivity.
Thanks for getting in the chat, everyone. And we'll be back for another live show tomorrow night. Cheers.
Love it. See you guys.